We are heading to Craig, Colorado, to one of our favorite camps in the world with Jimmy and Mitch and Jason and Brad and I are going to be chasing mule deer and elk. It's actually, we could say, the origin of Rolling Bones Outfitters. Rolling Bones No Boundaries would like to thank our sponsors, the Montana Rifle Company, Leupold Optics, Arms Corps Ammunition, Seal One Gun Care Products, and Realtree Max One.
We are loading up, heading for Colorado. It's supposed to be really warm in the polar vortex in the high country desert, and we are excited about it. Brought a beach towel to hang out on the sandy beaches between Craig and Meeker.
We're leaving the cave here to head to Colorado. Is that right?
I think so.
I think we're heading to Colorado to shoot elk and mule deer. Brad's on a conference call finishing up work, and Jason and I are going to drink beer. No, I'm teasing. We're not going to drink beer yet, but we will tonight. So anyway, we're leaving now. We're heading out. It is 1:26, and we are on the road officially to Colorado. This is the last hunt of the season, and it's been a long season. How many days have you hunted?
About everyone.
About everyone since what, October?
Yeah.
So
I missed one sunrise.
You missed one sunrise in months. So, and how many animals have you killed?
One.
And it's not that he hasn't had a chance to kill more. It's just so many people are like, you know, you guys just do this to kill, but that's not why we do it, huh?
Wait for the right one.
Wait for the right one. So this might not be exactly that same hunting. This is going to be find the right one to eat.
Yeah, we'll fill the freezer.
We're going to fill the freezer. So anyway, stay with us. We're going to have a great time. So this particular camp and that we book into in this outfitter are great friends. Jimmy, he lived in Spearfish with all of us, right? And we know him, we know his family.
Oh, that's a good 2 point.
7 years old.
7 years old?
7 years old.
It's like old home week. It's like going in, when I go in to camp and his mom's the cook, I don't, say, hey, Mrs. Wals. I go up, I give her a big hug. I call her mom. I can't wait to get her cooking because it's home cooked meals.
We have some tortillas this morning.
Tortillas, that sounds really good.
And that little camp there, it is what it is. So if you're looking for an old school elk camp, I don't know as if there's any picture I would have other than this one. Jimmy and I came up with the concept of Rolling Bones together, and Mark and Brad and I hunted there together the first time. So this is a very, very special place for myself personally.
It's like my size.
The landscape here is pretty crazy. Maybe Mark, you could talk about that because you've been there more than anybody.
Yes, like you said, that is kind of the beginning of our friendship. You came in the shop and we said we both love to hunt, and we put it together that day, and we were going elk hunting at Jimmy's. And that place is huge and it's rugged, and it's got, like you said, huge landscape of crazy sagebrush that's 8, even 9 foot tall sagebrush. It's literally like woods. And the elk and deer disappear. You can see 200-300 head of elk and they disappear for a quarter mile. And sagebrush, which is amazing. So the landscape is big, rugged. There's canyons. There's a huge river that runs through there. And it hides so many animals, you can't even believe it. It's an amazing place to glass and hunt.
Back on the move, we just saw that buck 3 point, and I think Jimmy's mad at me because I didn't shoot it. Rolling Bones No Boundaries is proud to partner with these sponsors: the Montana Rifle Company, Leupold Optics, Arms Corps Ammunition, Seal One Gun Care Products, and Realtree Max One. Closed captioning is sponsored by The Lodge at Deadwood. We'd also like to personally thank you for watching, and we invite you to follow us on Facebook.
This week's episode, we're in western Colorado hunting elk and mule deer with our great friend Jimmy Wals. And it's a big western hunt. There's elk, there's mule deer, and we wake up in the morning and it is unseasonably warm.
44 degrees in Craig, Colorado at 0 barely, not dark 30. And it's raining in the end of December. We're buck hunting, we're elk hunting, and usually we've got all 4 chains on to plow through the snow. Right now we have all 4 chains on to plow through the mud.
Yeah, I've never seen it this way. 44, right? Is that what you just said? 44, spit and rain. It needs to cool down, try to snow.
And it is tough glass, and it's overcast and it's gloomy, and in that particular light you're just not going to see a lot, because you can have deer 400 yards away, but like you know, Mark had said that sagebrush, it's its own ecosystem. It's so big, you know, and there's so many places for a deer to just tuck into. So we probably only saw 30-40 deer that first day.
We just spotted 2 bucks down there that you just saw. So we're in the deer. We gotta figure out what's going on and where they're at.
And it's a different type of hunt. This is not a super high, you know, I mean, everything's not on your back. You're in a 4-wheel drive, it's chained up, you got all 4s chained up, and you're creeping, you know, it's just creeping through this big country. You get to a knob, and you glass, and you glass, and you glass, and you glass, and you glass. I mean, it's funny when you look around, everybody's got good glasses, spotting scopes, and we're set up to find a good deer or a Colorado elk. But it's an extended season opportunity. It's usually super cold, never hunted in mud down there before, so that was unusual that first day. But it added a tremendous element of difficulty because it was all brown, and it's big, huge country, and it's hard to see the critters in. When you're glassing this stuff, you have to have high quality optics. You know, one of the things that will let you down if you come on a big western hunt and you're not prepared for it, and we see it all of the time, you show up and this is not where you want your 7-power cheapo binoculars. You want some of the high quality 10-power binocs, because stuff's a long ways away, and you got to have something that'll pick out an animal that is designed to blend in perfectly in this cover. And this is the epitome of tough glassing. And what I do is I usually start at either the top or the bottom. I have a tendency to start at the top, you know, if all things are being equal, or wherever the animal I expect to see them at. And I'll just grid myself across, and then I'll move down, and I'll just make the same pattern, and I'll overlap each section. Then I always go to my spotter. And then I do the same thing with that. I start out on low power, and I grid the whole thing back and forth. And our tripods are set up, or our window mounts, like on this deal, we can put we can use window mounts. But we'll grid everything on low power. And a lot of times I'll jack my power up, and I will go back and forth and follow that same grid pattern. And a lot of times it's not until the final glassing session, when you're on high power with your spotter, high quality spotter, that you see, you know, you might see a flicker of a tail, or you might see just the horn sticking up behind a yucca or sagebrush, or behind a juniper or cedar. So there's a strategy and a technique to glassing that really helps in this type of a western hunt.
By the end of that day, we were coming down the hill in that truck, ratcheting our way home, and there were big white flakes that represented what we were hoping to be promising for us tomorrow. Day number 2, we're in western Colorado looking for deer and elk. And day 2, the weather has changed drastically. It's now white and it is really cold.
We have deer all the way around us. A lot of things are on their feet today. It's 16 below zero. This cup of coffee feels really good in my stomach. We're back in the truck from glassing. We're gonna warm up a little bit, head up about 1.5 miles and see if we can't find a stomper deer or some elk.
Jason's got a mule deer and elk tag still available. Brad's got an elk tag, and I'm with both tags in my pocket, but I'm primarily focused on mule deer. But those guys we know are on some elk.
We are pounding the optics, man. We are just glassing and glassing and glassing. Good news is we found a bunch of elk. There's hundreds of them over there. But there's some bad news too. And that's that we can't hunt that place. That's the neighbor's property. So we're glassing those and just licking our chops and waiting for them to come over. We know at any second they're gonna be out of food there and moving our way. And so we're just crossing our fingers and waiting. We're maneuvering around this ranch and we go to a spot and we glass and we glass and we glass. Right away, Jason sees a bull. It's bedded down and it's about 800 yards bedded down. So Jason and I backed way out and made a huge loop and went all the way around and gathered some ground, and we got up really high on that ridge. We got way up on the top of the point and we left Mitch where he was, but he went around and made a little push and he bumped those bulls. He just went right to where that bull's bed was, and turned out there was 3 bulls in that group. And we'd seen those bulls the day before eating on that prickly pear. And a couple hours later, he just got on their tail and just bumped them, and they came right out underneath of us. And that was a beautiful, beautiful picture. Those 3 bulls in the snow. 305. Great job, guys. And I got to watch Jason make a fantastic shot on a great big bull, and it was just a beautiful day. The sun was out. It was, we maneuvered down through the rocks and we followed those bulls where they'd come off of that cliff. Just looking around, it was really a neat day. It was a fun day.
About 6 years since I shot an elk. Feels good.
Congratulations, Jason. Congratulations.
Thanks.
It's a nice bull. Jason is a buddy of mine from school, and he's a hunting fool. He might hunt a single deer for 90 days. And it's cool on this hunt because, he wasn't hunting for a 380-inch bull. He just wanted to go down, have a lot of fun, a lot of camaraderie, fellowship, and just have a wonderful time. He was ready to go and find an elk, get an opportunity to have a great hunt, and fill his freezer. And so that's what we did, and it was a lot of fun, and it was a neat experience for us.
Well, this was the morning we were looking for. As you can see behind me, the sun's coming up and it is absolutely gorgeous. The Colorado winter has set in Craig. They've been waiting for this for quite a while. That's why one day in camp can change everything. We have, people get out here and they get hunting and people get so, oh man, today the weather you can't control. Yesterday was warm, overcasted, and we could not see a thing. And today is cold and white, and we can see everything. Oh, wow. That's gonna be a great year next year. He's got 22-inch beams. That deer, you and I have a different thinking on deer, man.
There you go.
Rolling Bones No Boundaries is proud to partner with these sponsors: the Montana Rifle Company, Leupold Optics, Armscore Ammunition, Seal One Gun Care Products, and Realtree Max One. Closed captioning is sponsored by The Lodge at Deadwood. We'd also like to personally thank you for watching, and we invite you to follow us on Facebook. As a hunter, Rolling Bones Outfitters was created to deliver the experience you've always wanted but didn't know where to start. To begin with, as a Rolling Bones member, you get your own personal hunting representative. From DIY to fully guided, we match the hunter to the hunt. That's rollingbonesoutfitters.com.
We're chasing deer and elk in Colorado. At the end of the year, this is such a great time when all the other seasons are closed down. We're still hunting. We love it. This camp is unreal. So,
First of all, it's a ranching for wildlife ranch, which means it's one of the big ranches in Colorado, and it has its own system, its own season structure set up, and you can hunt it with any weapon, and you get an extended season. That's one of the things I like about it.
kind of a special day today. I'm here with my good buddy Jimmy.
So we come around on this bend in the road, and we're gonna look back up where we'd seen some deer from about a mile apart. Well, right there was a buck, and it was literally chasing another buck, and they were having a standoff. Well, that deer was, man, I'm telling you, he was right there. He was a stomper in regards to mass and his back forks. I mean, he had, man, I tell you what, I bet they were pushing 13 inches deep, and he had 35 inches of mass with no fronts. I mean, it's just a heavy big deer, and I have no problem killing a big 3-point like that, but his beams just weren't quite long enough. So Jimmy says, well, if you're not gonna shoot the deer, at least get some footage of it.
Back on the move, we just saw that buck 3-point, and I think Jimmy's mad at me because I didn't shoot it.
However, his brother's the one that said, and so did he, that there's this unbelievable deer, and his right side had points everywhere with probably a 6-inch kicker on it, and his left side had just like a big club coming up with a cluster of points. So in my mind, I'm thinking, that's the deer we should be looking for. So, you know, we moved on. We're just looking at deer after deer, and the hard thing with Jimmy is he's Jimmy.
What's going on? Can you seriously tell us what's going on? Jimmy, what? I thought you were a friend of mine. I'm trying to make the show.
You should just book a hunt and ask for Jimmy, and then you'll know. And everybody in the world deserves that treat once. And I'm looking off to the right side, and I'm glassing over there, and Jimmy's glassing over here. He says to me, he grabs me with his we call him Jumbotron, and he goes, I got your deer. And he just grabs me like dragging his kid across the front seat of the pickup. Here, look, he shoves my face in it. He goes, you're shooting that deer.
I got 350, 351.
There you go. $367.
We just killed one of the goofiest mule deer I've ever seen through the scope. So we're gonna go over and get a look at him anyway. It's been unbelievable hunting out here, unbelievable. I am so happy with that deer. I'm so fired up with him. Look at that thing. He's got a 6-inch cheater off the one side. I didn't even see that when I shot him. No, I am freaking out right now. I didn't know this is what he was.
He's cool.
He
Congratulations.
is cool. Could you imagine this deer in velvet?
Yeah.
You'd have been a truck stopper, huh? Holy smokes. Man, that's a big, I've been so blessed. I've killed some of the goofiest doggone deer the last 2 years. Just great deer. Jimmy, thank you, but I didn't think he was what he is.
I'm leaving Colorado, but when I'm leaving, I'm never thinking about the deer. I'm thinking about the people. I'm thinking about the camp. I will be back, and I know we're gonna have a whole bunch of people in here enjoying the same thing that we've enjoyed. And so Colorado just has a special place, you know, for Rolling Bones and us.
Intro into segment 2.
It's day number 2. We're in western Colorado hunting mule deer and wapiti, or
You can't say wapiti. It's wapiti.
no, it's not.
Yes, it is. It's wapiti.
It's wapiti.
It's wapiti.
And Jason is looking for that elusive wapiti.
There's no such thing as a wapiti.
Wapiti is like
Wikipedia.
Say wapiti. Wapiti.
It's day number 2. We're in western Colorado. I wish I was hunting by myself. This week on Knowing Rowan's Boundaries. Yeah, I tried.